Hi everybody, how are you doing? It's Marla. This is going to be a completely drugstore. Get ready with me. I love all these drugstore products, and my favorite foundation that I wear every day is from the drugstore. Nothing compares to it for me, but I have gotten some great finds recently at the drugstore. I actually picked up 3 of the Milani, 1, 2, even this one, 3 of Milani palettes, and I'm going to be using this one because this is my favorite one. This is the Earthy Elements. Yes, this is the Earthy Elements one. So I'm going to use this today. And I had some great prices that I found at my local Walmart. I swear they're practically giving some of the Wet n Wild products away. I couldn't believe it. So this is going to be completely drugstore, and I'll be honest with you, these are some of my favorite products. This is going to be a voiceover, so you don't have to listen to me talk constantly the entire time. And let's get going.
I'm going to start out with the e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer. I'll list all the products down in the description box in case anyone's interested. But this Tone Adjusting Primer is probably the only product in this entire video that I would not consider to be one of my favorites. I really wouldn't even repurchase this again. It was a new product I wanted to try out, but it's not even close to my favorite primer, which is the NYX Angel Veil. As a primer for my eyelids, I just like to use concealer, and I'm going to be using this Milani concealer. This is the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. It has a little sponge on the end of it. I don't like the sponge that much because, I don't know, it just seems a little stiffer to me. I've actually picked up the new Revlon Youth FX Fill and Blur Concealer, and I would say that is probably now my favorite concealer from the drugstore, but I didn't have that when I did this video, so for now I'm using a second favorite, which is this Milani. To color correct the red areas around my nose and some other parts of my face, I like to use this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Correcting Palette. The green color in this is very creamy. I just think it does a great job, so I really enjoy this. I reach for this a lot. Normally, to help with the dark areas under my eyes, I would use my orange Smashbox color correcting pencil, but I can't use that because that's not drugstore. So I'm going to try to use the yellow to see if that can help cancel out some of that purplish area that looks dark under my eyes. All the color correcting is done, and I'm going to use some of this Milani, and you know what, the name of this is totally worn off, but I think it's the Milani Lip Oil, and I think this one is in lemon. I really like this a lot. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my lips so they're moisturized before I put my lipstick on. Now for the eyeshadow, I'm going to take this sort of light brown shade in the Milani Earthy Elements palette, and I'm going to put that in my crease, and I'm also going to rub some of that along my lid. Now I'm going to take this beautiful sort of orange shade, it looks like a sunset, and I'm going to put that mainly in the crease area, just kind of a light layer of it in my crease, and then build it up a little more in the outer corner of my eye. Then I'm going to take the shade that's to the right of the orange color. I don't think these have names. I'm looking all over the palette and I can't find names for these, but this is the color to the right of the orange shade, and I'm going to put that all over the entire lid. Going to take this first shade and put that in the corner of my eye. And I'm going to wet the brush a little bit to make it a little bit more intense. I really like working with damp brushes. I just think it makes I don't know, I think it just takes the powdery look out of the eyeshadow. And I'm going to wet another brush, and this time I'm going to dip it into that orange shade again and just try to make that outer V area a little bit more pronounced. I'm going to wet another brush again and dip it in the shade to the right of the orange shade and the first shade. If you're going by what it says on the back of the palette, I'm basically mixing the number 1 shade, which is the base shade, with the number 4 shade and putting that all over my lid. And then I'm going to do a cleanup under my eye area and clean up any other eyeshadow that looks like it's in the wrong area. Since the Sunset palette does not have a good brow bone color, I am going to use the Milani Plum Basics palette and use that first shade and put that matte color under my brow. Then I'm going to take my favorite no-name stiff bristled brush and just kind of gently go over all the lines and seams from one color to the next, so you can't see where one shade begins and the other ends. I am a stickler for blending. Now I'm going to curl my eyelashes. And before I put any mascara on, I like to do some tight lining, and I'm going to take this, I think this is the Maybelline Unstoppable Eyeliner Pencil, and I think it's in the shade Cappuccino, but I will check on that. No, that is in the shade Espresso, and it is the Maybelline Unstoppable Eyeliner. Since I don't really have a favorite drugstore mascara, I am going to use the L'Oreal Telescopic. That used to be one of my favorite mascaras. I really do still like it, but I can't honestly say it is my ultimate favorite from the drugstore because I use so many different types of mascara. I'm going to do the other eye and I'll be right back. Now for my favorite foundation. This is my favorite foundation from the drugstore, and it's my favorite foundation in general. I love this Maybelline Dream Cushion. It is beautiful, doesn't cake on my skin at all. I like to use it with a beauty blender that's damp. I've tried so many foundations, and for my mature skin, this is my favorite. I'm now going to put on my concealer. I'm using the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. This is probably my second favorite concealer from the drugstore. The number 1 concealer from the drugstore for me right now is the Revlon Youth FX Fill and Blur Concealer. That's a great concealer. I really like it. It just doesn't seem to emphasize my lines and wrinkles around my eyes and just brightens up that whole area under my eye. And now I'm just taking a damp little makeup brush and just pressing in that concealer all around my nose and under my eyes. Now I'm taking a damp beauty blender and dipping it in my, what the heck? Does anybody else have that happen? Now I'm taking a damp beauty blender and dipping it into my e.l.f. HD powder and using that to set the area under my eye and a little bit around my nose. Now, in order to give a little shape to my face, I'm going to take this Milani Contour Highlight. I'm not a real fan of this. I would say this is not my favorite product. I really prefer using my higher end bronzers, like my 100% Pure bronzer or my Too Faced bronzer, to do some contour and highlighting to my face. I really love the contour palette from Black Up Cosmetics, but because this is all drugstore, I'm going to use this Milani product, but it is not my favorite. Some of my favorite blushes are from the drugstore, and Milani's Baked Blushes I love. This one is number 3, and I think this is called Berry Amore. I'm going to use this to give my face a little bit of color. I'm going to be a double blusher today and also use another Milani blush. This is the powder blush and it's number 11, Blossom Time Rose. For my face powder today, I'm going to use this Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth powder. Now I'm going to give my face a little bit of highlighting and just kind of brighten it up. I love this Maybelline Master Strobing liquid. It just makes my cheeks look so kind of wet. I don't know. I just love this product. I love it on my mature skin. It's a cream, kind of almost dries to a little bit of a powdery finish, but it just makes my face glisten without having that in-your-face highlight. For my eyebrows, I am going to use this Milani Easy Brow, and I'm going to attempt to use this to do my entire brow. It's going to be tough, but I am going to do it and try. But this Easy Brow is really a nice product. It's very creamy. The only thing I don't like about it is the tip is a little too, not blunt, I don't know what the word is for it. It's just a little too wide. It's not a fine enough pointed tip, so it's really a little tougher for me to do that nice fine detail that I could get with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. So I think what I'm going to do is fill my entire brow in with this Milani Easy Brow, and then for the finer areas that I want to be more precise, I will use my Kiss Professional Top Brow. I kind of consider that a drugstore brand because it is so inexpensive. Then I'm going to do my other brow and I will be right back. We are almost done. Now it's time for the lipstick. This is one of my favorite lipsticks from the drugstore. I have a couple backups of it. It is from Milani also. It's number 27. It's called Dolce Caramello. And it's just beautiful. I love it so much. It goes so pretty with my olive complexion. It just gives me a little hint of color on my lips. It's so comfortable and it really goes well with this eyeshadow look. I'm going to use this Neutrogena Lippy. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'll have to go in my vanity area and find it, and I will list it down in the description box. But I'm just going to use this product to outline my lips, just to kind of deepen up this lipstick a touch. That's it. I used all drugstore makeup, and I love this beautiful kind of sunset eyeshadow palette. It looks gorgeous with brown eyes. This would look great with a tan, although I don't tan my skin, but it would look great with a tan. This is so pretty, but I loved almost every product I used. I hope you enjoyed watching. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye from Marla.